Hey guys, welcome to the free live webinar hosted by myself, Carlos Gonzalez, and the College Soccer Guide. So it's the end of the weekend. Hopefully you won your soccer games if you guys had any games this weekend. Or even if you didn't win the games, at least you had a good experience. At least you learned something from whatever your games taught you and stuff like that. So this live webinar is available and ready for any players that need help with the college recruiting process, any parents that need help with their son or daughter and help guiding them through the college recruiting process. So I've created this for parents and for players. So I welcome you. I'm excited to be able to share the information that I have with you and be able to help you through this college recruiting process. So before we get started, I want to give you a little bit more insight about me and who I am and kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing in terms of helping players and parents through the college recruiting process and helping them be able to get recruited to play college soccer. I myself grew up in Arizona and I got recruited to play for the University of San Diego. And it's a Division I school. I got recruited to play there. My first year, we went to the NCAA Division I finals. And it was an amazing experience for me, one that I'll never forget. And I'll be able to always be able to look back on that and, reflect on that experience. College in itself has done amazing things for me. So, I ended up graduating from the University of San Diego with a degree in communications and an emphasis in business administration. So I've been able to apply that into what I do now. Since playing, after I graduated from college, I ended up tearing my ACL, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to play professional. But the good thing was I got into coaching very early, and I realized that was my passion. My passion and my purpose is to be able to help players. I've been coaching and developing players for over 20 years, and I've been able to help hundreds of players play at the college level. So I realized that's what I was meant to be doing. Since then, I've been able to, help players play at the college level. But what I realized is so many parents and players, they don't know what to do. They don't have the proper guidance to be able to figure out what they need to be able to do to play college soccer. I get questions from parents all the time asking me, what should they be doing, how to get started, what they should do next. And so what I've decided to do is I want to help these players and parents. So I put together a guide that is able to guide them through the process step by step because I know what college soccer has done for me. And I want to be able to help players get to that level as well, play college soccer, go through the experience of going through college, and also the education that comes out of it. That's a huge, huge thing for these players. So the soccer experience and the education. So in a nutshell, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I've realized that so many parents, it's very overwhelming for them in terms of knowing exactly what they should be doing. So I want to be able to share my knowledge and share my experience and information with you to be able to help you through this college recruiting process. So enough about me. Let's jump into this and kind of dive into why you're here on this free webinar. I'm gonna tackle or dive into the most important topics that I feel will be able to help you get started and get a very good feel for what the experience is. At the end of this, I see we'll also be answering some of your comments. We'll have a live Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to answer them. Shout them out here, and I'll be able to answer those at the end. All right. But before that, I'm gonna jump into this. How to get started. All right. How to get started. My recommendation is visit at least 5 local colleges in your area. This is something that parents and players can do together. Get on these campuses, get a feel for the campus, what the size of the campus, and it doesn't matter if it's a small school or a big school. just get a feel for the campus. And maybe it's not one that you like, but at least you know that's the campus that maybe I don't like. But at least get on 5 local campuses, easy to do, get a feel for the different campuses. Go watch live college soccer games. This is a great opportunity for you to go see these teams live and get a real idea and a sense of the overall level. So can you picture yourself or see yourself playing at that level, whether it's a Division I school that you're going to watch, Division II, III, whatever it may be, anything that's local and close for you to go visit, go check out a game. Right now, most of the games are done for college, so they've had their spring season and their fall season, but you can at least prepare for this coming fall and go check out some live games. You'll get to see the players in action, you'll get to see the coaches in action, and see the opposing teams. That you'll even get a chance to see teams that are outside of your area that travel in. So go see those games live. Also, if you aren't able to go watch them live, you can also watch them on TV or online, live stream. Some schools even have them archived in their on their website. So right now, even during the summer, you can go check out their athletic website and see if maybe you can find some archived games that they have and just get a sense and a feel of the overall level, and see if you might be able to picture yourself playing at that level 2, 3, 4 years from now. Another tip is when you travel. So many club teams are traveling, to different states to compete in showcases or tournaments. So I recommend going and visiting a local a campus while you're there. For an example, I just got back a couple weeks ago from New Jersey. I went out there for a showcase, and some of the players ended up going to Columbia University. Some also visited Princeton and a couple other local schools out there. So take advantage of the opportunities. You've already spent the money to fly out there or drive out there, and you can do it as a team, kind of a team bonding experience. I know we had at least 8 to 10 players that went together as a group, and you tour the campus, get a feel for the campus and what it's like. Within there is some NCAA rules, so you can't technically meet with the college coaches when you do that. So just a little tip in terms of that. There's obviously a lot of NCAA rules that you have to be aware of when you go through this college recruiting process, and that's just one of them. But you can take the tour on your own, or you can set something up with the school, and they can give you a tour of the campus. So last but not least, and this is all when you're getting started. So when you're getting started, what I mean by that is you're looking at 8th grade, 9th grade, so freshmen, maybe even some sophomores if you're getting started a little bit later. So that's what I'm talking about, when to get started in this information. But study habits and having good grades. This is very, very important. It's very difficult and very competitive to get into college now. So you have to make sure that your grades are good and that you have good study habits. The earlier you can get that established, the better off you are. So make sure you have good study habits and make sure your grades are very, very good as you possibly can make them. So if you need help with that, getting a tutor. I had a very good friend that told me once, the smartest thing you can do is get a tutor. So it doesn't mean that you have a learning disability or that you're challenged or that you aren't smart. If you have to get a tutor, it's okay. So it's going to actually be a smart thing for you to be able to do. So my next tip, so that's how to get started. The other thing that I want to talk about is identifying your top 25 schools. All right. So my recommendation here with your top 25 schools is identifying your top 10 schools, and then your next best 10, and then 5 fallback schools. 5 fallback schools that you can get into very easily, whether it's athletically or academically, but you always have those that you feel like you can fall back on. But if you have that list of 25 schools, that's a good starting point for you. It doesn't mean that that's your hard, fast, set list. That list is going to change, guaranteed, and it should change. But at least you have a starting block, a foundation in terms of that. So I challenge you and encourage you to expand that list to 25. And if you can make it larger, great, because now you have more opportunities, more schools to choose from, and vice versa. So, identify those top 25 schools. For some players, they have a hard time figuring out what level can I play. Am I Division I? Am I top Division I? Am I middle Division I? My best advice for this is get an assessment from your coach. If you can, from your current coach or a coach that knows you, has been around you, knows who you are as a player. But I do recommend getting some assessment where they realistically see you being able to play. And that will give you some idea of where to target for those types of schools. So that's some advice there. In terms of research and figuring out, okay, many players know the top schools, the UCLAs, the Stanfords, all those top schools, but expanding that list to 25 is sometimes difficult for players. So my advice here is using the resources. And these are the top 2 resources that I recommend. I'm going to refer to them a couple times today. One of them is Top Drawer Soccer, and that's topdrawersoccer.com. You can check it out there. It's a free resource for men's soccer and for women's soccer. Pretty much one stop for all soccer. But when we're talking about college soccer, this is the place that you can go to be able to get a very good idea of all the schools within Division I, and they have them very well organized within their conferences. And you have all Division I, Division II, Division III, all the way to NAIA. So here on this website, you'll be able to see the divisions and the conferences, and start to get an idea of what schools you would be interested in, schools that you may not have originally thought of. And then you can start to gauge their level of play. Are they a top Division I school, or a middle performer, or a lower level? And you can do this by clicking on the team. It'll show you their schedule. It'll show you the standings, the rankings, and all that kind of stuff. So that website is extremely useful. It's topdrawersoccer.com. It's a free resource. I'm going to refer to it a couple more times today. And I actually go in detail about it on how you can use that inside my guide as well. So that's one way to get a good sense of some research to find your top 25. Another resource that I recommend is College Fit Finder. It's collegefitfinder.com. This resource is a paid resource, but they have an extremely amazing college search tab where you can, through filters, you can go in. I refer to similar to being like CarMax. So you put in a bunch of different criteria. Let's say Division I, what level Division I, what area of the country you want to go to school in, your major, your GPA, your grades, all that information in there, and in different filters, and then it gives you a list of all the schools that fall within that criteria. And then that list now is a lot of schools that you may not have originally thought of. So if you're stuck with only being able to identify 5 or 10 or 15 schools, College Fit Finder and this college search tab will be able to help you expand that list and identify some schools. And then when you click on that school will give you, click on the link there, it'll give you the size of the school, the cost of the school, the contact information for that school in terms of for the coaches. It gives you all the information that you need right there. And then what's even cooler about it is you can kind of move those schools up and down, and you can kind of prioritize them. So you can put one school at the top if you're really interested in them and you like them, and you can start to organize them in a favorites list, or in what I would call as a target list. So your top 25. So that's a great resource. It's collegefitfinder.com. A very useful resource to be able to help you expand your list to identify your top 25 schools. How to identify your best fit. When I speak about fit, when I talk about fit, I'm talking about your fit athletically, which is kind of what we talked about in terms of getting an assessment from your coach and where you feel you would be able to perform or compete the best athletically. Division I, Division II, Division III, and within each one of those divisions, what level. Then we also have academically. So what's going to be a good fit for you academically? Do you have the grades, high grades to be able to get into a high academic school? or are your grades more suited for something at a different level in terms of academics? So finding that right fit for you and what your priority is in terms of academics. Socially, what type of school do you want to attend? Do you want to attend a big school with a big football program? I get this all the time from players. They're like, I want to go to a school with a big football program. Not necessarily because they like football, but they like that type of school, that environment where everyone's going out to watch the football games, and it's that school bonding and camaraderie. So that's what they like, and they want a big school for that. For me personally, I went to the University of San Diego, which was a small school. At the time, it was like 6,000 students. For me, that was perfect. It was a small school. It was location-wise, it was like 5 to 6 hour drive for me, or an hour flight. So for me, that was a good fit for me. So that's what you have to take a look at, is what's going to be a good fit for you. Do you want a small school? Do you want a private school? Do you want a public school? What part of the country do you want to go to school in? On the West Coast, on the East Coast, Midwest, identifying that and getting a good feel for what that best fit is going to be for you. And again, you can use these resources. TopDrawerSoccer.com will help you kind of identify that as well, and CollegeFitFinder.com is another resource that you can that can help you identify that fit. And then also financially, the financial fit. What do you need? I work with players and parents where in some cases scholarship is a high priority for them. They need a scholarship to be able to attend, go to college. For some, maybe scholarship isn't as much of a need, but you want to use soccer to get you into the school of your dreams. And so it may be more academically competitive for you to get in. So you have to use that sport or soccer to give you an advantage to get in there. So, or maybe you just want to, be on a team, be on a spot, play soccer. You don't need a lot of money athletically or academically, or maybe you need, you can get some financial aid and it works out for you. So there's a lot of different variables that you have to take into consideration when it comes down to your financial fit and what do you need and what's going to work out for you. So that's my recommendation in terms of that. Obviously, a lot of research that goes into this and a lot of legwork, but that's what it takes. I've talked earlier about earlier in my last video about myths and misconceptions. Is you can't expect your coach to go do this for you. All of these things have to be done by you as players and parents. And parents and players, I recommend you do this together. This is a process that I recommend doing it together and helping and working together throughout this process. So one last thing on the financial note, I went to the University of San Diego. There's no way that my parents would have been able to afford to send me to that school without a scholarship. So I was very fortunate and very blessed to get a scholarship to attend there, which was huge. So, that was important to me. It helped me. Without that, I would not have been able to get the education that I received or been able to play soccer at that level. So that was a great opportunity for me. So you have to look at all these different criteria, athletically, academically, socially, and financially, to be able to find out what's going to be the best fit for you. Because I've seen way too many people now that, too many players that don't pick the right school for them and they end up having to transfer. And you don't want to have to do that. You want to be able to do it right the first time. So make sure you take all of this information in consideration. And this is the most important. Doing this research and identifying your top 25 schools and your best fit. A lot of people, this is where they make the biggest mistake, is they skip this step. And I expect you to, or I encourage you to spend a lot of time in this area. And even after you start to move forward in the process, I recommend you come back and reassess that list, expand that list, reassess, reevaluate your fit, and identify and start to narrow it down a little bit more. Or maybe it changes a little bit. Whatever it is, you have to spend some time in this to be able to figure it out. And this will help you get through that process a lot quicker and a lot better and a lot easier. Let's talk about player profiles. Player profiles. Somebody asked if I went offline. I didn't go off. No, I'm still online. I just, though I think the connection was a little bit weak, but I'm still on. All right. So player profiles. When I'm going through this process, and I've been going through this process, I get a lot of people to ask me questions about recruiting services and player profiles, and what my advice is, what my recommendations are on that. Player profiles. Here's my advice. You want a player profile that is digital, so something that is you can attach in an email that's a link. You also want to be able to have a player profile that you can print out as a PDF and have a hard copy of as well. The reason you want to have these hard copies is in case you go to a college ID camp and you can physically hand that to the coach at that camp. But the digital ones obviously are most important because everything's online. You can put it on an email, and you have to make it very, very easy for these college coaches to be able to get your profile. So if it's in an email, they can click on it and they have easy access to it. For parents, you can relate to it. Basically, it's like a resume. So this resume will have all the information that the college coaches need to see, from your athletic accomplishments, your academic accomplishments, grades, GPA. They should have a place for video. College coaches want to be able to see you and get, put a name with a face. So video is the best way to do that. I do recommend having video in your player profile. And then also references. References is key because with the NCAA rules, these college coaches can't call you back directly. They can't email you directly. So they have to be able to find a way to get in touch with you or find out more information about you. And if you include your references, which your references should be your current coach, club coach, high school coach, your trainer, or any other coach that is working with you through this college recruiting process. So references is a key part of that profile. So the profiles, personally, that I don't think that aren't good, that don't work, are the ones where coaches have to log in to another site to be able to get access to your player profile. It's just another step that they have to take that isn't, it's going to take time, and they don't have the time to do that. So I recommend staying away from those, or any services that say, okay, we'll blast your email out to 100 coaches or 200 coaches, and basically kind of mass market or spam coaches with your player profile. I don't recommend that, because the college coaches that I speak to, that I know of, that tell me basically they don't open those. They don't like to open. They want to get a personalized email from you, personally, from your email account, that expresses interest in their school specifically. And then within that, you can include your player profile, your schedule, more information about you, references, etc. So those are the player profiles that I recommend. So a player profile that coaches can easily access. My biggest recommendation is collegefitfinder.com. It's the one that I also recommended for the college search, but they also provide a digital and hard copy player profile. So that's the one that I recommend. It's collegefitfinder.com. They have the best player profiles and college searches. It's a great program. And if you want more information about College Fit Finder specifically, then ask that, or send me an email or message me, and I'll get you more detailed information and help you out with that. I can also get that for you at a discount as well, going through College Soccer Guide. So if you want to check that out. The last tip here is, how do you get the college coaches to come out and watch you play? I get this question from players all the time. You can't, the last thing you can do is expect to go to a showcase and just expect college coaches to come watch you play. You have to invite them to come watch you play. You can't expect them just to randomly be walking across the fields and look at you. Now, college coaches will be out at showcases and tournaments recruiting, but they're there with a list. They have a list of players that they're out there, that they're specifically watching and actively recruiting. So you have to get on their list. And the best way to get on their list is by sending them an email. You have to send them an email and invite them to come watch you play. You can call them, but most likely they won't answer the phone call. They won't answer a random number's phone call. You have to send them an email. That way you're in their database. You're on, hopefully will get on their list, and then hopefully they will be able to come out there and watch you play. In that email, you're going to include your schedule and where they can come watch you play and what's coming up. So that's it. That's in my opinion the most important. That's going to get you to the point to where you're going to get college coaches to come watch you play. So you're going to send the emails to invite them to watch you play. You're going to include your player profile in that email. And those emails are going to be sent to those top 25 schools that are on your list. Okay? And those schools that are going to be the best fit for you. Okay? So I'm tying it all together now. So you got your top 25 schools, whether you've identified them from going and visiting campuses or watching them on TV. You've done the research. You've gone to topdrawersoccer.com. You've gone to collegefitfinder.com. You've done the research. You've talked to different players and parents about what schools are going to be the best fit for you. So you identify your top 25 schools. You get the contact information from them, and I have identified your best fit, and you send emails to them with your player profile, and you invite them to come watch you play. So that's, in a nutshell, the most important steps that I recommend you taking to get you started. Okay. Obviously, there's a lot more, and there's a lot more information out there, and a lot more steps that you need to take. What I did specifically before in preparation for this webinar is I referred, and I'm looking right now at I've got my laptop here, and I'm looking right now at my website, collegesoccerguide.com. And I went through it because there's so much information out there. It's hard to remember it all. So I've put everything that I know inside this website, this online course where I walk players and parents through the process. So what I did is I went through, and that's where I get my answers. All of my answers and all the information that I know is inside this guide. So if you're serious about playing college soccer and you need help or guidance with the college recruiting process, I can help you. I can coach you through this process. I've been able to help hundreds of players play at the college level, and I can help you as well. Everything that I know is inside this college soccer guide. So from the starter kit, what you should be doing on how to get started, how to identify your target list, we went through there. I go through and I show you in detail, step by step, how to use Top Drawer Soccer. I give you a video tutorial on exactly how to use that resource to figure out if that school would be the best fit for you. And there's a couple little tricks that you can use to be able to do that. And I show you exactly how to do that. How to collect contact information for the college coaches. It can be tricky. It's not always very easy to get a hold of these college coaches and all of the assistant coaches and the recruiting coordinators. So I show you exactly how to do that inside the guide. How to create your player profile. How to compose and send emails. A lot of times it's hard just to sit down, and I have players and parents, what do we say in this email? And some people say way too much in the email, and some don't say enough. So I actually give you specific templates on exactly what you should be saying, and in the emails, and how to structure and how to organize those emails so that it's easy for the college coaches to read and even file and organize for them. So I have template emails in there. Also, how to schedule and your unofficial college visits. This is where the magic happens. What I say where everything comes together. You've invited college coaches to come watch you play. They're interested. How do they get a hold of you? I talk to exactly how that happens. And then you want to be able to have them invite you to come visit their campus. And basically this is their opportunity to sell you on their campus and their facilities and their program, especially if you're being recruited by them. And then finally, I walk you through exactly how to navigate through the decision-making process. And I show you exactly how to do that. And And then inside the guide, I've added some bonuses that are the NCAA guide, because there's so many rules and regulations out there. It's hard to know. And I've really narrowed them down to the most important rules and regulations that you need to know as you're going through this college recruiting process. I give you a timeline guide, a financial guide in terms of what you need to be prepared for to have a strategy, a college funding strategy to be prepared for the college recruiting process, and also an admissions guide. So I've included all the information, basically all the information that you need to get through this college recruiting process, I've included in the collegesoccerguide.com. And so if you're serious about playing college soccer, you can go there, you can sign up today. There's not another program out there like that, like this. There's nothing out there that actually walks you through the process. And that's exactly why I created this, because I want to be able to help you guys get through this process. So I put this together specifically for you guys. All right, I have included a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if for some reason you aren't completely satisfied with the program, I'll give you a full refund on it. But I'm very confident about all the information that I've put in there from my hands-on experience to be able to help you. So it's literally like me sitting down right now, like I am today with you, walking you through step by step by step on everything that you should be doing. So you can check it out, www.collegesoccerguide.com. If you're serious about playing college soccer, I can help you, and you can sign up today. All right. I am open to answering any questions at this point. We'll have a little Q&A here to see if we have any questions from anybody. I'll check here online as well. Is it easy to play pro at 16? Not if, I mean, yes, if you're good. But, you know, really most importantly, what we're talking about here today is playing soccer at the college level. So this is, you know, more focused toward playing soccer at the college level. So what other questions do we have? I am still online, so any other questions? What can I do as a junior in high school? You have to do your research to find out what schools you're interested in and what schools are going to be the best fit for you. And then you have to start inviting those schools to come watch you play at your next showcase or your tournament. So sounds pretty simple, but there's that's my best advice for you. So any other questions? All right. Well, I thank you for your guys' time. I will check in here. If you can, share this video with somebody that you, either a teammate, a player or parent that's on your team, and, you know, your son or daughter, or anybody that you feel needs help with the college recruiting process. I've been there. I've done that. I've played college soccer myself. I've been coaching for over 20 years. I have my A license, so I've been there. I've done that. I've been able to help a lot of players through the college recruiting process, and I would be more than happy to help you guys as well. So please feel free to pass this on, share this video with anybody, and I will be doing a few more live videos in the future. So again, thank you for taking the time to sit through the video. Leave me some comments. I will jump back in and answer any questions after I get off this live stream. If you share this with anybody, you'll be at the top of my list to be able to answer those questions, because this is all about working together as a team. We have to be on the same page, and we have to be working together as a team. That's where we see the most success. My saying is, together everyone achieves more. Team. So let's work together as a team. Best of luck in whatever games, tournaments you have coming up. And hopefully this information has helped you. And again, if you want to get started today, you can go to collegesoccerguide.com. I included the link in the description. It'll give you all the information that's included in my online course, and I'll be able to walk you through the process step by step. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to go check out the Copa America, and I will see you on the next video. All right. Thank you. Bye, guys.